Good God. But anyway, did you guys see this this Saudi line city they're going to build?
Yes, I was talking about that the other day.
About it. What is the logic? I don't think I get it. I'm calling it now. This is another one of those Middle East projects that looks stupid in retrospect. Like, remember it might have been Abu Dhabi building all these islands that were like the shape of a leaf of some sort. I forget. I mean, this is about 80% right. But if you look at it now, like they're all eroded and they gave up on the project and the thing didn't go anywhere. That's where this is headed.
So what 100%. This is the petrostates investing in their infrastructure and their tourism draw for a post-oil future. They don't want to go from riches to rags in the next 2 generations. So they're trying to build these crazy things, these cities that people will want to visit. And this is supposed to be like an elevated city that's glass on either side and reflective. And that's just like an artist rendering, of course. Yeah. But earlier I saw like a picture of what I'll call a bunch of construction had begun. Yeah, right. But I take that with a grain of salt because I don't know what I was looking at. And it certainly didn't look like.
I saw them. They had bulldozers, like earth movers of different varieties, moving sand around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't just make the sand smooth and build on top of that. Like, you guys know this, right? I hope you know this.
I don't know how you do that.
They better with that sort of glass place investment. They better be very familiar with sand, because that's what they're going to be building on. Like, I saw the pictures. Like, even that artist rendition, that's the absolute best that a professional could make that look like on top of the soccer field. Can you imagine how dystopian and horrid it would actually be to live in a 150-yard wide super city full of like just people who can rob you and then just go just gone.
I want the sun fly away into the desert through the glass and have a burning laser beam that comes across throughout the day.
Like, what are you showing us now? Like this isn't proposed by anyone.
This isn't it.
I bet that's what they're saying.
If this is it, this is.
I love the fucking crew boat.
That's the render of the.
This is awful. This is fucking ugly. Why did they pick these angles?
They can't build this. They're incapable.
I would miss. Do you know what time the sun rises with this kind of horizon?
I know about the Line City, but I didn't think this is what they.
The sun. Wait, what? Oh, you think this isn't the Line City?
No, it's an artist renditioning. If
this is what I've seen the outside of it, and that looked ridiculous. But if this is supposed to be the inside of it, then it's just it's science fiction.
I stayed in Harlan, Kentucky, and the little piece of Harlan, Kentucky I was in had tall mountains on either side, and it's like I've never been a place where sunrise is 10 a.m. and sunset is like 3 p.m. But when you've got mountains on either side of you, that's what happens. This Line City is going to have sun shining down on it from like 11:50 to 12:10.
And it's going to be so hot, reflecting off the glass coming in. Just everyone inside. It's the sun minute. What a retarded idea. Yeah, it has. It doesn't make any. Who would want to live in that? Like, it would immediately become a slum because all the richest people would be like, "Oh no, I'm going to go live in that Burj Khalifa we built." Like, honestly, who would live in this? You think like the wealthiest among us? The Burj Khalifa is that super tall building in Dubai.
It's the tallest, right?
Yeah, it's the tallest. Well, did they do? No, that's not the one where
it's
they did
the one
bullshit.
Where everybody does the bullshit.
They did this. They did a little too much of the spire thing, which is
we've done
a way of
it ourselves.
Adding a spire to a building and then claiming that as the top is a lie.
When a third of your building is antenna, that shouldn't count.
Okay, maybe so, but that's the one that you saw Tom Cruise like hanging on the outside of and stuff. I saw that Kanye had claimed that he came up with the idea for Django, and that Quentin Tarantino had taken that from him. And
he's a truth teller.
And then I saw Quentin Tarantino's get asked about it, and it was really interesting because I thought he was going to be like, Kanye is crazy, but instead he was like, I did speak to Kanye about a music video he wanted to make for Gold Digger. And he wanted to be a slave. He wanted to be a slave in that video. And that's as close as he came to coming up with the idea for Django.
So just a suggestion of being a slave in the video. equates Tarantino.
It was
grabbing.
I also saw
all his
Will
actors.
Smith talking about that role, how he was offered that role, and he wanted it to be a love story more than a revenge story. So that's why he like said no to it eventually. I'm so glad that Will Smith wasn't Django. Jamie Foxx is one of the greatest. Jamie Foxx is one of the greatest talents of our generation. Like, forget acting.
He does impressions.
He's like a renaissance man of like the entertainment talents of drama. Like, he can act, sing, dance, comedy, fucking anything, stand up, all of it, all the different ways of
blows
doing
the pants off Will Smith in every way.
He's the entertainment version of an actual like Bruce Lee or something. Like he's incredible at everything.
I think I like Will Smith's music more. I can't even name what.
Getting jiggy with it, huh? Let's go to Miami. All right. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Jamie
Miami.
Foxx's music ever.
He definitely has some.
You watch Ray? Have you seen Ray?
No.
You haven't seen Ray? He all right. Well, Jamie Foxx becomes Ray Charles. He blinded himself for a year and a half.
You're
That's
joking,
commitment.
Right?
Yeah.
That's huge commitment. He like still deals with light sensitivity issues.
He still does to this day. He did gain a bit of a sixth sense, though, a bit of echolocation that he now employs and throughout his life. It's incredible.
I remember as like a kid, like really pumping up the extent to which like I thought blind people had additional senses. Like I really just assumed like they become so sharp.
No, not at all. No.
But then over time, I guess like I realized you don't really see a lot of blind people in public. Like
they stay where they belong.
Well,
underground.
Yeah, like the mole people they are. That's what we should start calling them.
There's this guy on YouTube.
That are blindies.
Like there's this dude on YouTube who's blind, and I saw like this is a long time ago, but he had these videos where it'd be like, how do I picture color and things? And like he was like a born blind person. I was super interested in that. And like I don't know what answer I expected, but they were just like, what is blue to you? And he's like, I have no conception of that. Like, I have nothing to like base that reality on. Like, color is not something that I can conceive of. And like the things he would talk about in the handful of videos I watched, like it was like sad, but also like interesting. Like he'd be like, someone asked like, what are you like curious about with like people that can see? And he's like, I just like, you can be in a big crowded room and just like, know that the person you want to see or be with is like over there, and then you can just like go through a crowd and you know where they are. And I was just like, oh, that's so sad. Like, because he's like, for me, I need to have someone with me to hold my elbow to walk me to the person I'm trying to see. I don't want to be in a big crowd like that because it's like it's so much sensation and like loss. Like,
do you think that the blind should be able to hold public office?
Sure. Yes. Knowing America, it'd be like the Department of Transportation.
2 yeses.
Taylor, are you reading that?
I
wanted your initial reaction.
Oh, let me take a look. Oh, wait, where?
The link.
The Japanese city.
Yes. Can you tell the audience
Japanese
about
city
this story?
Alarmed by biting, clawing, attacking monkeys, and the photo is a monkey sinisterly sitting outside of a window waiting for the poor Japanese people to go.
Read their attack style and the defense strategy. When you get, I guess, read it all. I thought it was
people
funny.
in a southwestern Japanese city have come under attack from monkeys that are trying to snatch babies, biting and clawing at flesh, and sneaking into nursery schools. The attacks on 58 people since July 8th are getting so bad, Yamaguchi City Hall hired a special unit to hunt the animals with tranquilizer guns. The monkeys are not interested. Yeah.
They're stealing babies and sneaking into nurseries. The fuck?
I mean, at some point, Japan's got to get their fucking shit together. They are monkeys. Like, put a guard up.
Planet of the Apes. All right. Anyway,
the monkeys aren't interested in food, so traps haven't worked. They have targeted mostly children and the elderly. They are so smart, they tend to sneak up behind and attack you, often grabbing at your legs, city official Masato Saito said Wednesday. When confronted by a monkey, the instructions are, do not look them in the eye. Make yourself look as big as possible, such by spreading open your coat. Then back away as quietly as possible without making sudden moves. A woman was assaulted by a monkey while hanging laundry on her veranda. The victim showed bandaged toes. They were taken aback and frightened by how big and fat the monkeys were. The monkeys terrorizing the community are Japanese macaque. They kind of the kind often pictured peacefully bathing in hot springs.
Oh no!
One male monkey measuring 1.6 feet in height and weighing 15 pounds was caught Tuesday by the team with a tranquilizer gun. It was judged by various evidence to be one of the attacking monkeys and put to death. But
God, I hope they used they walked him up like a tiny gallows and hung him.
No, they gave the monkey.
Katana.
Yes. No, I was gonna say they gave the monkey a little knife and they're like, "You can end this on your own." And then the monkey. Although Japan is but more attacks were reported after the capture. No one has been seriously injured so far, but all have been advised to get hospital treatment. Ambulances were called in some cases. Although Japan is industrialized and urban, a fair portion of land in the archipelago is mountains and forests. Rare attacks on people by a bear, boars, or other wildlife have occurred, but generally not by monkeys. No one seems to know why these attacks have occurred.
I would like to offer my services to the people of Japan, if you'll have me.
Yeah, I'd like to help too. Free Japan trip. Not even free Japan trip.
I will pay my own way. If you've ever seen Tremors 2, I'm looking for a scenario like that. Okay. Remember how the Mexican government hooked Bert up with all that cool shit?
Yeah.
Let him go out there to fight the graboids. I want a similar scenario, but for monkeys. Now, this is going to be easy to fight these monkeys. We're going to 12-gauge shotgun and we're just going to blast monkeys all day. Like I would love to spend the rest of the year in Japan shooting monkeys with a shotgun. Like I'll pay my own way.
Yeah. And I mean in Japan,
just let me in and give me a gun. Maybe one of those things that it's similar to that Shinzo Abo, like electric cannon. I could use one of those. Yeah, like a pulse rifle. Ooh, didn't he kill him with a pulse rifle or something? Well, first of all, there's no fucking such thing as a what do you a pulse rifle?
The G32 from the fucking color saturated Modern Warfare.
Look, I want to talk about your seeming belief in pulse rifles.
Well, what's wrong with what is the gun with the 3-shot burst? G11.
Yeah,
that's a gun.
I don't know.
Some people call it a pulse rifle.
No one calls it that.
No, Taylor and I do. They said
first of all, the G11 is.
Yeah, it's not even a real term. So when they say that we need to have a pulse rifle ban, that doesn't even mean anything.
Anyhow, I'd like to fight those monkeys, and if you'd allow me to come fight them, and I'm talking to the people of Japan in general. I'm sure that they could get together and get me over there to fight their monkeys.
Doesn't it shoot special bullets, the G11, where they like electrify the ones at the tip?
Yeah. The way a G11 works is you have these rods of ammunition that go in the end, and you basically have like projectile fuel stacked in a long cylinder. And using electrical impulses, you ignite the fuel in the correct order that you have this incredible rate of fire because of bullets. Nothing is cycling. There's no moving parts. It's you're just basically lighting off these things and sending them.
Like a bunch of firecrackers in a tube, and they can quickly light the front one, the second one, the third, the fourth.
That's my understanding of how it worked. I also heard that the ammunition, these cylinders of ammunition, if you will, were very fragile. So like, it break apart because you got a bullet and then powder, and after it fires, there doesn't need to be anything left in the barrel of this gun, so it all has to go away. But it has to be made out of something sturdy enough to presumably shove down the gun in a battle.
Wrong. A squib load is when it doesn't go off and just sort of stays in the barrel. Maybe
that's not a term I grew up knowing, but my understanding of it, or like what I think of, is like a bullet is stuck in the barrel. Or something like that, an undercharged round, but it's not a term that I grew up knowing.
Have you've heard that term before?
I've heard it before.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it sounds like what you're describing with the G11 is it's prone to what I think a squib load is, where it just doesn't get all the way out.
I don't know if it's a real gun that like went into long-term production and was tested or anything. It seems like more of a prototype type thing.
But that wouldn't count as a pulse rifle?
No, it wouldn't count as a fucking pulse rifle. Pulse rifle is an energy weapon.
Oh. I did look it up to see if it was. I did look it up to see if it was real, and I got excited to click a link, but it was from the Alien vs Predator wiki.
Of course,
so it was not real.
Of course not. No, of course not. Look up the smart gun from Alien. They made that out of like
they should convince the Democrats to ban pulse rifles and focus all their energy on imaginary guns.
Are you aware of the M11 Cyberdyne systems?
Cyberdyne systems.
The T-800. Now, what this is, folks, is an autonomous human killing machine. Okay, it's made to look like a man, but it's clearly a robot. Yet, we've applied the texture of an Arnold Schwarzenegger to it just for aesthetic purposes. They are making the like ban Arnold Schwarzenegger style Terminators instead of assault weapons. So you get them to follow that.
Solid idea.
We don't want to suggest that though, because then as soon as pulse rifles are real, we're not going to get to enjoy them.
We'll just name them something else.
You know,
yeah, light beam. Well, we'll workshop it.
Yeah.
Did you use that term at work?
Workshop it.
Workshop.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those business terms that like business bingo and meetings and stuff. Someone's we're going to circle back to this. Let's table that. Let's workshop that. Like things like that. I'm always like, oh, business bingo. Like you said business.
I say circle back in my regular life because we'll be on topic A and we'll get like halfway through it. And then they'll come up with topic B and it's like, ooh, I like where your head is. We'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong.
But anyway, I like fuck those goddamn monkeys. I don't. Whenever I see like
rude,
like an animal inconveniencing human beings in their territory,
where AIDS came from, Kyle. Don't do that.
Well, shoot the monkeys then. I also I hate whenever I see those uppity swans and geese in our parks, like industrial parks and stuff, honking at people, biting them.
Yes.
I would kill if that ever happens to me. I swear to God, I've already mentally prepared for the fight. All right, I've played it out 100 times in my mind.
I would love to kill a swan.
I was considering putting in a fire pole, but everybody I've talked to gives me shit about it. So I guess I won't put in a fire pole. Be boring like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't. That would not be fun after maybe 2 times.
When I slide down that pole with a big plate of nachos, you're gonna be like, best idea ever.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna be sliding down one-handed. You're gonna have a plate of nachos, and there's that floor hole, and you're going to clip the edge of the plate on the end of the floor hole, and it's going to go floop, and it's going to smash you. You're going to be startled, stop the glass, you let go, then you fall, you got a broken leg because you just had to be different.
And I'm covered in nachos.
And you're covered in nachos.
I also considered a big slide, and at the end it would end in like a bunch of foam blocks. I was like, Kitty, you could go down the slide. That could be you could just go head first and just slide down to the basement.
That is a cool idea, actually. I approve that.
When I was a kid, I honestly always wanted the fire pole. I was like, Dad, why can't we put in a fire pole in the basement? And he was like, because we're not fucking retarded.
Because I don't want your sister to be a whore.
I always wanted to work in an office building that had one of those like slides from the 4th floor, zoomed around. That would be cool.
Yeah, I've seen those. Is that it? I didn't even know that was a real thing. I thought whenever I was seeing that, it was some Photoshop or something. You're telling me there's actual office buildings where fools are sliding out of the 17th floor and like going down to the 14th and getting some lunch and then taking the elevator back up?
Look up the City Museum in St. Louis. It is this giant rundown building in downtown, not in a good area at all. And we used to go there on a field trip as kids, and it's basically got huge, almost like makeshift looking metal devices and tunnels and slides coming out of this giant decrepit building and going back in. And as you are climbing on these things, like when I was like 8 or 7,
wow,
I didn't really care. But looking back, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, there's no way this stuff was up to code. Like, these were just weird contraptions and tunnels coming out of the building, then going to the top and then coming back around. Like, you will not believe it. If you wanted to fall through these holes in like the grate of these tunnels they made, it's basically like rebar formed around into like a tunnel, but there's enough room between the bars that you could, if you wanted to, as a child, just push yourself through and fall to your death.
Before you got into it, I was picturing like glass tubes, swirling around.
No.
Not at all. No. This is like the Dominican Republic's version of a cool thing. Like
look up. I'm sure that deaths have happened. Let me look.
They made that shit with scrap metal and the charred remains of people's lives.
This is like the Rio Olympics version of something good. Like it's
Hey, I wonder what's going on in Rio right now. Okay, so the Olympics are gone, all that shit's there. What's happening right now? Like in those giant like swimming facilities, those huge acrobatics facilities, all that
those
stuff.
pools smell like farts right now.
They drain those chemicals right into the river or whatever. Those things are dry. They're just pits waiting for someone to fall into them at this point.
There's just people
When
coming
I heard
out
that
with
pool
rashes.
smelled like a fart and it turned green, I was like, well, no terrorist attack, but they did pull off the shittiest Olympics in memory. So,
Yeah. And is Brazil successful? Like, I don't know how much infrastructure Brazil has in Rio, but it seems like those buildings for the Olympics, like in Atlanta, that they're still using those to this day, I'm sure, because Atlanta's a metropolitan
And
city, a
Salt
lot of
Lake
people
City
there,
and
a
Lake
lot of jobs.
Placid and-
Salt Lake City, huge there.
Lake
I've been to Salt
Placid.
Lake quite a few times, Lake Placid, and I just feel like if you do it in a country like Brazil, like in Rio, or even in China, I think a lot of those buildings just stagnate and sit there and rot. Like Sochi in Russia, there's no way they turn that into like a business convention center. Well,
No,
one,
they
because they're a
bulldozed that
communist country.
there are whores in the Olympic Village in Sochi right now. Like there's a pimp named Goalie who took over that shit and he's running it right now. Like there's no way there's any like booming economy going on over there. And what was the name of that place again? Koji?
Sochi, right?
Yeah, Sochi. Whatever.
Does America build temporary structures for something? Because like in Atlanta, you can't just have rundown shit. Like there's a country trying to happen there. There's not spare land. So I'm thinking of example. There's kayaking, right, where they like go up river, down river. They go through this course as quickly as they can, and it's like a flowing river. I looked at the Chinese version of it, and it's like this cement empty pool with like barriers and shit that I guess used to hold the flags. What else are you gonna do with an artificial kayak race course? It's not like all the kids want to play in it. Of course it's an abandoned piece of shit. What did the U.S. do with their artificial kayak race course?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're probably still racing kayaks in that motherfucker. We got rich people over here. We've got enough. I mean, maybe we got enough rich motherfuckers who are into kayak racing that we can facilitate having a kayak racing pond. I guess so.
Yeah, I bet if you checked it, there'd be like how many years ago was that? In
96. So
96. Okay, so like the 20th kayak championship or something, because they were probably just like, well, we got a kayak racing course. Anybody like boats? They're like, well, I don't have enough money for a real one. You're perfect. Like.
He just didn't come that night.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who got put under house arrest when we were in high school. And this guy, he got put under house arrest. He stole a motorcycle and led some cops some wild goose chase, caused a couple of the cruisers to crash.
Wow.
This is when we were senior in high school, right? This dude ended up being a sniper in the Marines. But so he gets house arrest. So me and my other friend, we want to go see him. And we're in Massachusetts, and it was winter, so it was time of year where like 5:30 is dark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we walk up to his house, and it's pretty dark except for one muted light upstairs, but the front door is open. And I'm about to walk in, and my buddy goes, "No, don't walk in." So from outside, before we walk up the steps, he goes, "Greg, it's us." And the light turns on. He was just waiting for someone to break in. He was sitting in there with a gun. He was just waiting for someone to break in.
It was a bait house. He left the door open.
As a senior in high school, he was like, I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" He was like, "I'm bored. I'm under house arrest." I'm like, "So you thought you'd set up a trap to shoot somebody?" And he was like, "What else am I going to do?" I'm like, "I don't know. Watch TV." I don't know.
Right?
Well, I'm doing that at the same time.
Whatever the rest of us do. Yeah. He, that dude was special. That chase, we lived in a small town. But that chase.
What was he on? Is he in a car? They chased him?
He was in a motorcycle.
A motorcycle.
He was in a motorcycle.
They're hard to catch.
Steven Randolph. That's the other comic tonight.
What's up, Steven?
Dark Shadows. But yeah. That was like, I lived in a small town though. I remember shooting AKs that he got in the mail and put together.
Legal.
What's that?
Is that legal? Can you get an AK in the mail?
It wasn't automatic. It was semi. And I think you can still order them through the mail, just not put together. He used to order guns and put them together. We used to have a neighbor who had cars. Like
was he a licensed firearm manufacturer by chance?
More of a hobbyist.
I think you need an FTA.
So this is actually an important distinction. Now, like someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But what?
And by the way, this was 30 years ago. I think I'm remembering this correctly.
Laws are looser now than they were 30 years ago. It's great. A little bit. One of my charges was that serial number thing. Remember, I think the Supreme Court just squashed the whole idea of serial numbers on firearms in the United States. If I understood their ruling correctly, there was a case that involved a man, a bad man, to be fair, a criminal, who had a weapon with the serial number carved off. And he was like, look, that's a bullshit law. Like, who are you to say it's my gun? I can take your fucking serial number off if I want to. And they went up to the Supreme Court and he won. I don't remember the nitty-gritty details about why, but that changes a lot of things. Before that ruling, that's a 10-year mandatory federal sentence for even fucking with that serial number, you know? And
but why wouldn't you be able to do that with a VIN number on a car then, if you can do it on a serial number with a gun? I don't think you can scratch out your VIN number, can you? On a car?
Not and drive down the road.
Yeah, I don't think so. But why would you be able to, if it's the same principle, right? I own this car. I'm not leasing it from the bank. This is my fucking car. You can't scratch out your VIN number. That is not okay.
Well, you can as long as you keep that car at home, right? And I'm going to keep my gun at home.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I won't be operating my firearm down any highways, so y'all don't have any jurisdiction on what do I do with it. Yeah. Okay. That's what I've always
agreed.
Oh, Zach and I both Googled it. You're right, Josh. You can't scratch it off.
You can't scratch off the VIN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the cars.
Right.
And then drive them. But if I've got it at home and I keep
Google makes it seem like you just can't scratch them off.
But Kyle,
what is it, like that tag on a mattress?
I'm gonna scratch off the VINs.
I'm gonna use that.
But Kyle, if you have a car that you don't take anywhere, is it a car?
You could off-road with it, right? You could do things that don't have anything to do with the U.S. government and their set of roads and regulations. I could take that car and I could like off-road in my pasture, or I wherever you want. That's private land.
Yeah.
And then you're not up to. Then it doesn't matter if it's street legal, right? You can put some big tires and loud exhaust and 2 engines on it if you want, whatever. What if
it was like they're calling him the cyclist killer, and it was a serial killer around the country that only attacked cyclists
who were a little too far over?
He would drive around in his truck
who were on the road.
He would just go on the road and he'd wait for cyclists that blew past stop signs, and then he'd release cryptic dash cam footage, almost Sam Hyde style, yelling and mocking them before he runs them down. That guy would not be as hated as other groups of people. The random attacker serial killer would be reviled much more than the road cyclist killer.
Yeah.
So every time you bring up road cyclists, there's always some European guy who's like, yeah, why are you Americans so backward? You can't even ride your bike. And it's like, you live in a country the size of my neighborhood. There's what are you talking about? We need cars. We need all this stuff. And our roads, maybe Europeans don't know this, our roads are not made for cyclists. So when they're on a windy road, it's just them in the lane, just hanging out problem. 2 feet in your lane. And it's like, so now I get to swerve around you on a corner where there could be oncoming traffic. Thank you, sir, for off-putting all sense of responsibility and making all of us kind of the adults in the room who have to be careful not to tip over the child. Everyone put your safety on the line so that this person is prioritized. Tremendous selfishness. Hate it.
I thought cars had the right of way this whole time. I've been running them off the road.
They should. I think that's something we should get behind. I'm voting for whoever puts that in. No more cyclists on the road. They get their own roads.
No more mollycoddling the cyclists of America.
Jogging on the road near me. There is a path. There's a sidewalk and she's jogging on the road, and it's like, fuck you. Like, what's wrong?
You
with
should hit her, and you know what? Darwin would approve.
Darwin would approve as I'm like clasped in irons, but it was like Darwinism.
The survival of the fittest.
And they're like, not only is that tremendously ascientific, you are a murderer.
Who was driving home from work one day, and she looked at the car yard as she was driving past it. She was like, "That's my fucking car," and like when she went in there, and she's like, "That is my car, like same rego, same everything," and talks to the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, some guy came in, he had the papers for it and everything, sold it to me today," and she's like, "Okay," gets back home, and her husband just fucking sold the car and just disappeared.
Oh no.
It was just fucking gone.
Yeah, you can do that.
Like,
You didn't even take the car to
America
disappear
anymore. Like back in my grandfather's day, if you didn't want to be married and with kids anymore, you could just not. He just left. I don't know how far.
oh yeah. Oh, he was just out of here. Yeah.
I think he went like 17 miles.
You could be like, damn, this life I have in Naperville, it would be better if I moved to Ogdenville, and I never see these people again. What are they gonna do? Look me up in the phone book? I don't live there anymore. I ran away.
This could take forever. You can't find me.
Yeah.
A lot of shitty dads then where they're just like, I guess that's why you did it. I'm going out for cigarettes. And then you're just like, no, I'm out. I'm going to California. I'm going 30 miles away.
30 miles. That could take minutes.
Well, that's the thing. Like, apparently he moved, and it's like an hour flight away. Like if someone lived on an island, obviously can't. I mean, you could drive it if you catch the boat. But like it's like an hour flight away, and this guy just bailed there. Like that's where they think he moved to. And they're like, my family members like, yeah, we think he had another family. It's like he always used to like disappear and be like, yeah, I'm going to work for like a week, and it was like blatantly obvious that he was just going somewhere else. And
it's like, you're a mailman. Like, what
yeah, where you going? Yeah, he just bounced, and then he just ended up bouncing for good. It was fucking weird.
Scumbag, liar, and deceit. Oh, you're.
How can you still do that in modern times? Can you just bounce?
Internet.
No, I think they quickly fine you and like, what is it called? They don't sequester your wages. What is
Garnish.
the term? Garnish. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. Yeah, they'd look you up and garnish your wages, and
they'd be like, we recognized your face near a Pizza Hut in Albany.
Oh,
it's like, fuck, they got me. I jaywalked and the Chinese technology flagged me down.
Some red light cameras making you pay child support now.
Yeah, now
you have to listen to your Wi-Fi, and now found you.
Maybe you could become like a migrant worker and work for cash only just to spite her.
You know what you do? You just pay it forward. You illegally immigrate to Canada. Just moving on.
How aggressive are they about throwing us out?
I don't think they can, dude. They don't have
guns.
Or
the whole country no guns.
Their cops don't even have guns. They use stern words.
That would be fucking awesome. Like imagine if Imagine if Justin Trudeau like continues his anti-gun policy to the point where he literally disarms all of Canada, like zero fucking guns. They never have a school shooting again. But then the next year we just straight up invade them.
We're bringing back to democracy and school shootings.
It's just the Mounties and the Canadian military standing between us and Quebec.
Yeah, guess what? Canada's huge. Another 50 states, even 100. How about that?
Yeah.
You're being fooled by that Mercator projection. It's not that big.
I want to sell Puerto Rico.
Everyone knows that. You want to sell Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
How much? What do we get for it?
Greenland.
Just take it.
Oh, Greenland, obviously that's a trade. That's a way bigger island, and I've never been to either one, but
I don't even know how big Greenland is. That fucking Mercator projection messes me up so bad.
I think it's the size of South fucking America.
Dude, I've overcorrected myself with the Mercator projection thing. So like on that little map, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, Russia, and then like drag it down and be like, oh no, it's enormous. Like
Russia
Canada.
The biggest country?
Yeah, Russia's the biggest, then Canada, then us.
Do you know who the most populous is?
India now, right?
It's not China.
I think India, either they just passed him or they're passing him this year. It's something like that.
Congrats.
We're talking about this the other day, like how big Australia is, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's tiny." And I'm like, "No, it's like as big as America." And they're like, "Oh, no, Texas is bigger than Australia." And there's a cattle ranch in Australia that's like it's a comparable size to Texas, and it's like run by 12 dudes. Like, it's
Australia.
Like, it's like
huge,
fucking gigantic. But when you look at it on the map, it just looks fucking tiny.
There's just not much like usable space. Yeah.
Oh no! I mean, you could use it to store nuclear waste, like the.
I was going to call Australia the motivation for fallout.
I'm really fascinated by abandoned towns, cities, and places like that where you go somewhere and say, "Oh my God!" Like there's paved streets and road signs and stuff, but this place is deserted 100%. One of them is this asbestos mine out in the Australian outback, where obviously there came a time when we realized asbestos wasn't so great for you, so we stopped mining for it. But the whole town's there that was built around the industry of the asbestos mine, the same way that at the turn of the last 2 centuries ago, with the gold rush, you would have those encampments that would sprout up, and then later on they'd become the cities that we know out west. But originally it was just a bunch of miners and whores stopped there for a week because it was convenient.
Yeah,
it's neat.
Is that like the Blue Sky mine? I think it is.
I don't remember the name of it, but if it's an asbestos mine that's abandoned, I don't know what this is. But there you go. That's what I found interesting. All the homes.
Did you go there, Kyle?
In Australia?
Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little mixed up.
You know what?
Zach wrote Pennsylvania in the chat, and I conflated the story.
Yeah, it's in the Pilbara region, which is like in the middle of fucking nowhere. But like that's in Western Australia. Like Western Australia is so fucking massive. Like it's there'd be heaps of towns like that up there. They just mine. They go there, they just mine everything out, and then they're just like, no, the next one.
There's some cool American towns that like just totally failed. Like they used to be mines and now they're just empty, or towns that are so small or decrepit. I think they're neat. I think it's cool to visit. When I go to a town and it's too small to support a gas station, I'm like, what? How do people live here? There's no grocery store. There's no gas station. Like, how do you survive without the basics?
There's places where it's like there's just a quick stop and a Dollar General, 28 miles down the road, the closest one. Like that, there's tons of like driving through like the South, like even southern Missouri. Like you go through a bunch of towns like that where it's like you blink and you're through it, and it's like sometimes it's sad. It's often sad because it's like you can tell there used to be like community there. Like people grew up there and like have fond memories of it, and now it's like dilapidated and sad and
well, they couldn't get any jobs, so they obviously have to leave. But
it's because of the interstate system.
Yeah. There's one near us that has like there's like a whole bunch of houses, and then it just has like it's like a gas station sort of like stop, has like food and stuff like that, but they have more ammunition on the shelves than they have food there, because like heaps of people drive through there to their properties that are past there to go hunting, so they sell more ammunition than they do food. So it's like it's pretty funny to walk in there and just like, oh yeah, just like 3 loaves of bread and then like 300 boxes of 223. It's like very funny.
It's funny, like you forget as an American that in other countries they're like, and you can go into this store that sells bread and they've got guns right there, and you're like, yeah, what else? Like, yeah, I know it's called the gun section, dude. Like, yeah, like, that's where you go. It says guns.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I remember going to the gas station as a
kid. It's
the
funniest bit that there's just like there's less food than there is ammo there. Like, and that's meant to be like their supermarket.
They don't want to sell food. Those guys are going hunting. They want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get their own food. Like,
I remember going to the gas station as a kid and getting like Little Debbie snacks and a Coke and 22 bullets. Because we're driving down the road to where we've got some cattle property leased, and there's going to be something to shoot.
That's what I remember stopping at those gas stations, and I'd get some kind of soda, or usually sometimes a Yoo-hoo if they had Yoo-hoo. I'd get one of those dip things that had beef jerky in it, and we'd get orange sporting clays and shells, and then we'd go shoot clays. That's a fun memory.
You can
Good
still do
times.
that in some parts in like where I live. There's like that specific shop. Like we drive past that to go to my mate's sort of like lake house thing where we do like a lot of shooting, and we'll just stop in there and just buy like fucking crates and crates of fucking 12 gauge and play targets, and it's just all just sitting in there in the service station. Like people think it's like that's the thing. I don't think many people would go there, so they're like, oh, that doesn't happen in Australia, mate. It does. It's definitely does.
Driving out west through Texas and New Mexico, there would just be on the side of these lonely highways a sort of makeshift shooting range. Like, and it was clear that there was enough use of this, of people driving by like us that were like, fuck it, let's get out and shoot, that it just got used all the time. Like, I saw a map the other day, and it was the percentage of gun ownership per state. Like, even in New York, like it bottoms out at 10%. I mean, there's no states below 10%. And when you get down here, and especially Georgia's not one of the most intense, but the most intense places, it's like 70% or above.
Damn, where are those
households
places?
own a gun? Like most of the country.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
Like the majority of states in like the middle of the country, especially when you went out west where it's farms and police are so spread out. I think the Dakotas maybe and Montana, they were like dark red where everybody's got a gun.
I've had a question forever. What are you better at than 90% of people?
Talking. Like, that's
I thought of that
probably the one.
Me. Yeah, like
making people. I don't know if I meet new people, and I think it's important that they like me. I think I'm pretty decent at that. I can be pretty charming. You know, if you meet me the first time, I can do that.
Kyle's an
thing.
outstanding acquaintance.
I like to
outstanding acquaintance.
If I meet a new person, I know what they want to talk about right away. They want to talk about themselves and they want me to pull it out of them in a way. And then when they deliver, they want me to respond the right way. And I think I'm pretty good at that. Like
my daughter has that same superpower. Like, yeah, she goes to a new place, everybody likes her.
Yeah.
As far as like cool things, like I don't know. Like,
you know what mine was?
What percentage of people? I'm sorry, 90.
I said 90. Yeah, so top 10%.
Mine was a deer with a bow.
Climbing, like not like mountain climbing, but like climbing a rope or pull-ups.
Dude,
like he's
a monkey.
Yeah,
skill. He has a fucking skill. It's what it is. His lower body is tremendous, and he has that short upper body, and it's just like no work for him. He's like a cinch worm.
They call me the cinch worm.
Every so often, I'm like, if you lose your athleticism as you age, and I'm like, do I still have this? And yeah, that one I'm going to keep for a while.
Yeah, I think any talent that we have, like automatically, like you beat 90% of the people if you put any skill into anything. Yeah. Like I know you ride bikes better than 90% of the people because
the 10%.
What's the percentage that rides at all?
Yeah,
and then you beat.
We can both ice skate better than 90% of people because there's probably 70% of people who can't do it at all.
I can get across without falling. I won't fall. I will not be going fast, and I will look awkward, but I won't fall, and I will hit a couple of strokes.
You know, get a couple strides.
There will be moments where I'm clearly skating and not hobbling along. You're like, he took a stroke. He's looking at his glide, and then I hit another one.
Stroke. He knows the terminology.
It's a stride. Do you ever skate and you're like, what do I do with my hands? Like it's not that I need a tripod to hold myself up, the stick, but I feel like holding a stick is part of how I skate.
Yeah, maybe because I played goalie, I didn't feel that way. It's just like when I would skate without anything, I would just feel like naked out there. It's like, what do I do with my hands? Like usually I've got a big glove, two big gloves on, holding a stick, a bunch of pads. And then also like skating around as a goalie with nothing on, like your stride, you look like a fucking goober.
And you're
like
pivoting with that weight,
look like
right?
Like you push more laterally with goalie skates, whereas player skates more like that. And so you wear goalie skates out there with no pads on, and you look like a guy. You're the best skater who doesn't look like a good skater, is what you look like as a goalie when you're skating.
I've always everyone says the goalie's the best skater in the team. That's like a thing that you hear a lot, and I'm like, what? He's not the fastest. He can drop to his knees and stand again, probably better than everyone else.
Sure.
But like best skater is hard to define, and I always like, well, like I don't think he has the best cardio. I don't think.
And like it's like small movements. So like stopping very quickly and pivoting back with your whole body, like on the ground sliding, as opposed to like keeping both blades like a player would and jumping back and forth. That's just what I would qualify.
That's always like he's the best skater of the team. Well, he's the best at goalie stuff. The goalie.
Yeah. Yeah. He is the best at goalie stuff. But like, if you play hockey, that like every once in a while they'd be like practices where it's like, all right, well, we just finished our last tournament and this is one of our last practices. So who wants to play goalie? Like, and someone's always like, oh, I'll be goalie. It's like, all right, Taylor, give Johnny your pads and he can be goalie. And everyone thinks they can play goalie and everyone's dog shit at it. Suddenly they start sliding laterally to the left and they're 8 feet out of the goal, turned around out of position because they didn't dig in correctly on the pivot foot. And it's like, it's much harder than it looks moving that quickly in a small rapid area where you have to be very aware of your angles with the net behind you.
That wasn't the part that made me suck at goalie so bad, but I did suck at goalie. I felt like I could move side to side fine enough. Like that wasn't, but stick handling. Dude, an NHL goalie stick handles like a C-level forward. It's like beer league forward. And I was like, I don't understand why goalies suck at this so bad until first of all, I'm like holding the stick backwards or something. I have a baseball glove roughly on one hand and like a blocker on the other. I'm like, oh shit, none of this equipment is meant to like shoot a puck. It's terrible at it. It's meant to stop a puck. And I don't know. Moving, him stick handling, stopping it, like all the goalie stuff I was bad at. It was terrible.
It's why you got to specialize in it because it's usually people don't jump in and do a good job. That's why they had to make a rule for Martin Brodeur because he was so good at stick handling that they're like, you can't do this. Like you can't. If you don't you don't know, Kyle, like this goalie was so good at going behind the net, like, because what you do in hockey is often you dump the puck in behind your opponent's net, and then that buys you a little time to rush in, and then their defensemen are turning around with their back to you, chasing that same puck, and their defenseman, and it's your forwards going in after the defenseman. The forward's going to be a faster forward skater than the defenseman turned around forward, and so basically the goalie comes around to the back of the net and stops the puck behind his own net, and then passes it to someone on his team to prevent the faster opposing team's forwards from getting there first and mucking up the works. And usually the goalies wouldn't come out of their net super far because it was too risky because they could fuck it up and biff it.
One bad pass and there's an open net.
One bad pass, there's an open net. And Martin Brodeur was so good at it that he would go way out of his net sometimes, way into the corners, everywhere to grab the puck and then rifle it very, very accurately straight up to a forward and then get like a breakaway or a 2-on-1. And it got so like frustrating for the league because he was the only goalie that could do it consistently that they made a rule called the Brodeur rule where they added lines to every ice surface that were like, all right, goalies, you can't play outside of these lines anymore. And like every single goalie other than Martin Brodeur was like, we already don't play outside those lines. And he was like, this is bullshit. This is not fair.
It was like cheat codes because he would transform into a defender instead of a goalie.
That's why he was great. Shout out him. He was one of my goalie idols he played for New Jersey.
Yeah. Our favorite show comes back next month in just, I don't know, 30 short days for All Mankind comes back November 10th.
It does.
I'm looking forward to it. This is a series you could get on board with us with.
I have a question. How does the releasing work? Will we get 10 episodes or is it going to do week by week dribbles?
I think it's week by week. Week by week, which is maybe they do that thing where they give you 2 or 3 to lead off. That's always nice. Amazon does that a bunch. I really like that. It lets you dive into a show and get the feel for it. And, before you let you know if you like it right away. But yeah, I love For All Mankind. I'm looking forward to the new season. Last season was kind of crazy, and at the end of it, they did a big jump forward in time. Like the final closing scene, I think it's the 90s, and Margot has gray hair. She's like much older.
Oh, I forgot.
And she's in, another country, and yeah, it's wild. So it's great. Taylor, my favorite part happens in, I think, the third season. I think there's 3 out now, and the 4th is coming.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, then like whatever the most recent season is, it's the Mars race. It's the Mars race, and it's the way it comes together is really fun. Because you've got these multiple superpowers vying for to get the first person on Mars, and some people are cutting.
I think this is not a
corners
spoiler, but it's interesting. It's the superpowers are America, Russia, and a very rich man. All of them doing it their own way. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
The rich guys on the same tier as 2 entire countries. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like that wealthy, basically his own king.
Have you not paid attention? It sounds right. Elon Musk or NASA or cosmonauts, like
and
That's
he goes in
true.
and poaches a lot of the NASA people, obviously, because he has money. He can pay more than your government gig, so he gets really good engineers and scientists who have material science knowledge and just kind of steals them by paying them more.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and they have this big race to get to Mars, and they land on Mars.
I
And
watched the first episode of that show. I need to go back to it and watch more.
The first season's probably my favorite, because I like when it's just like, fuck, the Soviets beat us. This is so humiliating. And they're all like, no, we're not gonna like take this lying down. Let's get back in the cockpit. And then they get all them bitches together, and it's like they're putting together like the sexiest group of astronauts they can. I like that. It's a good show.
I like the show more because of some of the things Kyle pointed out. Like, because we stayed in the space race, technology advanced. So it's like 1991 and they're FaceTiming each other, right? This isn't that's like what, 2016 stuff? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I might not have picked that up on my own, but there's a bunch of little things like that I started looking for, like, this alternate timeline where we stay in a competitive space race is interesting.
Yeah,
what's going to be the
part of
next
it,
like big thing? The way that like smartphones, is it just AI? Like, are we at the next big thing now?
if they
'Cause
could
that
find a
was
fuel
huge.
source, we'll see the thing that's driving them on For All Mankind, or a big part of it, if I remember correctly, was they find this fuel source is abundant on the moon. Like maybe it's helium-3 or something. I don't remember exactly, but there's a resource on the moon that's like, that's the shit that we turn into the other shit that powers our spaceships. And it's like, now the moon is just a big gas station for us. And so they're able to advance. And I think they use that stuff on Earth for fusion energy. So they've kind of solved a lot of the energy issues that Earth has. So now they're really able to focus on this space shit, because basic energy needs are kind of met by their helium-3 fusion reactors that I assume they have.
Is that how the
world.
rich guy got rich? No, that's how
think
NASA self-funds, maybe.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. But again, I haven't seen it since it debuted last year or whatever.
I think you missed Taylor's question. He was saying in real life, what's the next big technology?
Well, I was saying you need something like that. You need to
you did hear.
You need to be like, turns out there's moon gold. Like something that's worth. If it's going to be up there, it's going to be something like that. If it's down here, what's going to be the next explosion in technology? Maybe AI, but hopefully it's not in a post World War III sort of thing, because we're really geared up for World War III, because you've got Iran there right between Russia and Ukraine and Israel, like playing middleman. You've got India and Pakistan, who are very much against each other all the time, forever, and they're split on this issue, of course, with China right there playing antagonist there, and the South Sea below them, and then you got the Russians and the Chinese running drills together over disputed waters up above Japan up there. Meanwhile, you've got us funding at least 2, but about to be 3 proxy wars. I think something's going on in Africa, and it's a little scary, because you've also got most of Western Europe looking a lot more like the Middle East and Western Europe, demographically speaking. So a holy war might not look like what Western Europe is accustomed to holy wars looking like this time. So we're real close. Just need a couple more sparks.
The razor's edge of World War III. How fun!
That's one of my favorite songs. Walk along the razor's edge.